So one of the things that I'm driving home in Lake County, Florida, concerning Jesse Halter is how he owns a gun, how he has a medical marijuana card, has a concealed carry, and has registered guns. And I believe that based off of conversations he's had with my husband, he also has unregistered guns. Okay? I want to make sure I'm very clear. I support your right. Whatever the government owns, you should be able to own. That's just how I feel. Rather it's a tank and you can afford a tank, be Tony Stark. Great. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to get the establishment to say is that we keep talking about mental health and guns. And it's like, well, when are we going to actually do something about it? Now, here's one of the things. I'm concerned that government even going down this route. I'm not going to lie. I've said it many a times when my husband or other people in our family are talking about, proper gun ownership and things like that. And I will go as far as to say that with my son, I got him the NRA membership and did all that because I do believe in their message. I do believe in proper gun ownership. And if you actually check, the NRA also agrees with dealing with mental illness and things like that. So I'm not that out of whack. That being said, we got to be careful too on that because there are people out there who would say that I'm crazy because of my religious beliefs. I'm going to use Bill Maher. I like the guy. He's an atheist, but I don't watch his shows. I don't watch any late night shows anymore, but I can appreciate his stance and things like that. But I bet that man would think that because I believe in Jesus and God, or i.e., the Easter rabbit, so to speak, that I am mentally ill. So we have to be very careful allowing the government to decide on what mental illness is when it comes to gun ownership. And I acknowledge I don't have a clue. All I know is I do know there's a man who has anger issues and is not a responsible gun owner, and I believe does more than medical marijuana. And I've just asked the law enforcement to take his guns from him, research, double check some things that I've provided, and then if it's all clear, give them back. If I'm this crazy grandma or I'm going to be proven right. But sadly, Lake County Sheriff Office and the Eustis Police Department are not willing to actually even investigate, which is why I've had to climb the ladder. But that being said, I just want to be very clear that, we got to be careful on what the government deems as a mental illness because of the fact of believing in Jesus or Buddha or Muhammad or any of them. There's people out there very well educated, Bill Maher being one, who would be like, you're crazy because you believe in something that doesn't exist. But I just want to speak to those that are an atheist. Just hear me out. Just hear me out for a second. This is the way I always looked at it is. So if you're right and there is no God, and I believe that there is a God, and I die, what? Okay. But just hear me out. Hear me out a little bit. Just hear me out. But what if I'm right? What if there is a God? There is a Heavenly Father. There is a Jesus that did die on the cross, that did rise again. What if? What if I'm right and Bill is wrong? What harm is it for me if it gives me a sense of peace and I'm not there spewing hate like some Bible thumpers do? What harm is it that if I need to get through the day and believe in my Heavenly Father, am I really causing any issues? And if just hearing it out. Once again, I welcome any kind of discussion. I simply choose to believe in the power of Jesus and the power of my Heavenly Father. And if for some weird, after this, once you guys see all the things, some of the naysayers won't be able to say nay. But if I'm wrong and there is no God, then I just was probably a better person than if I didn't have that moral compass. So just some food for thought. So reminding everybody, including myself, to just do better by our families and communities, regardless of who you pray to or choose not to pray to. So, thank you.